All right, well, good evening, everyone. I am going to call this meeting to order then. This is the June 11th, 2025 meeting of the City of Pasco Hearing Examiner. My name is Andy Kottkamp, and I've been appointed by the City of Pasco to serve as a land use hearing examiner. My job is to render decisions and, in certain cases, recommended decisions on various applications that are authorized to come before me. Those include the special permits that we have today, and then I'll make a recommended decision on the zoning designation request. I'll consider any testimony presented at tonight's hearing, as well as all the written materials on file in order to make my decision. The hearing process does have certain rules. I'll try to conduct this meeting in a relaxed and informal manner, but we still have a procedure we're going to use. For each item, staff will present their report and make whatever recommendations that they wish to make. Next, the applicant or the applicant's representative is given an opportunity to present their testimony and evidence. Then, if a member of the public came to testify either in favor or against a project, I'll give you that chance to do so as well. If you are going to testify, come on up to that microphone at the front of the hearing room. I'll have you state your name and address. If you're going to give testimony, I will swear you in as a witness. And ask that you keep your testimony relevant to the application that we're talking about and not to other issues beyond the scope of the proposal. And if you have any written materials that you want to submit, we can make those arrangements. Now, I have the option following this hearing to keep the record open if I think there's a need for additional written testimony to be submitted, but in any event, my written decision will be made within 10 working days after I close the public record. Except as provided by the Pasco Municipal Code regarding requests for reconsideration, my decision on the special permits will be final and conclusive unless they are appealed. Appeals are by means of what's called a land use petition action that has to be filed with Franklin County Superior Court within 21 days of the date of the decision. Now, on the zoning designation request, I make a recommendation to City Council. That's not a final decision, so my recommendation is not subject to appeal. I've reviewed the items on tonight's agenda. I don't have any interest in the properties or the proposals to be heard today. I will be able to fairly and objectively consider each item. And outside of receiving and reviewing the staff report for each item and the application materials and noticing documents, zoning maps, comprehensive plan maps, basically the entire planning staff file for each item, I've not had any communication regarding any of the items that are on tonight's agenda. So with those recommendations, with those representations, if there is anybody here tonight who objects to my participation as a hearing examiner, if so, we need to have you come forward and state so at this time. Hearing none, we'll turn to the first item on today's agenda. This is one of the special permits I talked about. That's SP 2025-005, which is an application for the expansion of an existing church to be located within the city of Pasco on property that's more specifically described in the staff report as well as in all the application materials. For the record, I will admit into the record at this time and by this reference that staff report, all the application materials, all the comments that have come through, all the zoning documents, I'll admit all those items. Indeed, I will admit the entire planning staff file into the record at this time by this reference. And I'll turn this matter over to staff for their presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. For the record, my name is Ivan Bergon, Planner 2 with the City of Pasco. I am presenting on special permit application SP 2025-005, submitted by IAFCJ for a proposed church expansion. For the sake of clarity and the record, I would like to note that while portions of the packet reference a building height of 16 feet, this figure reflects the wall height. The actual peak height of the proposed structure is 24 feet. This clarification does not affect the substance of the application. The proposal involves the expansion of an existing church building located at 3211 West Wernet Road, Pasco, Washington, parcel number 119-231-028. The property is zoned R1 Low Density Residential District. Next slide, please. The property is 1.45 acres in size. Next slide, please. The applicant proposes a 4,800 square foot addition 60 by 80 to the existing church building to serve exclusively as a place of worship for the congregation. The proposal also includes the development of additional parking to support the expanded use. Next slide, please. Notice of the public hearing was published in the Tri-City Herald on May 26, 2025. Notice for public hearing was mailed to property owners within 300 feet of the proposal on May 27, 2025. Pursuant to Pasco Municipal Code PMC 25.45.040, number 1, churches and similar places of worship may be permitted by special permit. While a church use currently exists on the site, the proposed project would expand and intensify that use. According to the applicant, the maximum seating capacity is 332. An additional 40 parking spaces will be required on site for a total of 83 in accordance with PMC 25.185.170. The City of Pasco is serving as the lead agency for this project with respect to environmental review. A threshold determination was issued on May 19, 2025, resulting in a mitigated determination of non-significance, MDNS. In accordance with the optional DNS process outlined in Washington Administrative Code WAC 197.11.355. Next slide, please. With that, staff recommends approval of the special permit for the proposed church expansion at 3211 West Fournette Road, parcel number 119-231-028, with conditions as listed in the June 11th staff report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Looking at that last slide, are there 83 parking spots on site?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just confirming. All right, thank you very much. Is the applicant ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Just need to have you come on forward and have you state your name and address, and then I'll swear you in as a witness.
Okay, is that on? Perfect.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, hello, Mr. Examiner. My name is Joel Romero. My address is 4111 River Hill Drive, Pasco, Washington.
All right. It's Joab. Is that how you spell your first name?
Yes, Joab.
All right, sir. I'm going to have you raise your right hand for me, please. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give today will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you very much. And sir, you're here as an agent authorized to appear and speak on behalf of the applicant and property owner, that's correct?
Yes, I am.
And have you had a chance to review the staff report?
Yes, I have.
Do you have any disagreement with any of the representations within the staff report?
No, I do not.
And there are some proposed conditions of approval. Have you reviewed those? And if so, do you agree with those?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Then with that out of the way, what would you like to tell me about this project?
Well, I am the pastor of that church. For the last 5 or 6 years now, we have outgrown our current building. We have a capacity for 84 individuals, and so we've been having 2 worship services every Sunday since 2020, and we just simply have not been able to expand due to financial reasons. But now we have the financial means to expand. So we are hoping to expand within this year, and hopefully by the end of this year, be done with our project, our construction project. We really like our location. We have a good relationship, as far as we know, with all of our neighbors. We've never had any issues with anybody in the surrounding areas, and which is why we'd like to really expand in that same location. If approved, once we have finished construction, we would like to, at some point, offer our building to the community for any potential use in community meetings or whatever may be needed. We'd like to be a part of the community in that regard as well. We haven't at the time, or in the past, simply because we consider our building, our current building, to not be adequate. But with this new expansion, we think we could offer our campus to the community for any use that may be required or may be accepted.
Certainly. Well, that's very admirable. Anything else you'd like to add, Pastor?
No, not really. we're very hopeful that we can see this through. Our church is a young church, a thriving church, serving mostly the Hispanic community. We have Spanish-speaking services, but we also translate to English. And we consider ourselves like a community church, which is why we really like that. Part of the reason we like that neighborhood as well. And we want to serve that entire community. And yeah, there's not really much else for me to say at the moment. Other than
Well,
thank you to all involved for all the work that's being put into this.
Well, you're welcome for my part, and thank you very much for coming in yourself. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Turn to the public now. I see some folks there. Did any member of the public come to testify on this matter? Not seeing any movement. All right, is there anything further from staff?
No, Mr. Examiner.
All right, then what I'm going to do, Pastor, is I'm going to close the public record portion of this hearing, and I'll have my written decision made within the next 10 working days. I'm going to turn to the next item on today's agenda. This is another special permit, given application number SP2025-007, which is an application for the construction of a dance hall and a restaurant/nightclub. This relates to property located within the city of Pasco that is more specifically described in the staff report as well as in all the application materials. Once again, for the record, I'm going to admit into the record that staff report, the application materials, the SEPA documents, the noticing documents, there's maps and drawings, and I'm going to admit all those items. Indeed, I will admit the entire planning staff file into the record at this time by this reference. And once again, turn this matter over to staff for their presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Again, for the record, my name is Ivan Barragon, Planner 2 with the City of Pasco. I am presenting on special permit application SP 2025-007, submitted by Knutson Engineering for the construction of a dance hall and restaurant/nightclub. It is important to note that while a restaurant is a permitted use within the applicable zoning district, the City of Pasco has opted to take a comprehensive approach by addressing all elements of the proposal under the special permit process. The proposal involves the construction of two buildings located at parcel number 117-370-018. Next slide, please. The property is zoned C1 Retail Business District. Next slide, please. The property is 1.85 acres in size. Next slide, please. The applicant is proposing the construction of two primary buildings, a 4,122 square foot restaurant and nightclub, and an adjacent 4,122 square foot dance hall. The site plan also includes outdoor amenities such as fire pits, volleyball courts, cornhole areas, and other recreational elements. Additional site improvements will include parking facilities, landscaping, lighting, and supporting infrastructure to accommodate the proposed use. Next slide, please. Notice of public hearing was published in the Tri-City Herald on May 26, 2025. Notice of public hearing was mailed to properties within 300 feet of the proposal on May 27, 2025. Pursuant to Pasco Municipal Code PMC 25.85.040, number 6, dance halls and nightclubs may be permitted by special permit. Based on the proposed uses and applicable parking requirements, a total of 109 off-street parking stalls are required. The applicant proposes to provide 50 off-street parking stalls as part of the site development. Pursuant to PMC 25.185.070, owners of two or more uses, structures or parcels of land located within 300 feet of each other may share parking facilities. When shared parking involves separate tax parcels under separate ownership, a notarized and recorded parking agreement is required. The City of Pasco is serving as a lead agency for this project with respect to environmental review. A threshold determination was issued on May 19, 2025, resulting in a mitigated determination of non-significance, MDNS, in accordance with the optional DNS process outlined in Washington Administrative Code, WAC 197.11.355. Next slide, please. With that, staff acknowledges that the submitted findings of fact and conclusions provide a potential basis for approval of the application for a dance hall and restaurant/nightclub at parcel number 117-370-018 in Pasco, Washington. However, the final determination rests with the hearing examiner. Should the examiner find that approval is warranted, either as proposed or with modifications, staff recommends that the conditions of approval listed in the June 11th staff report be incorporated into the decision. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And the thought is that there's I believe, a park adjacent to the facility that will supply the additional required parking, assuming an appropriate agreement can be reached.
Yes, the city of Pasco owns the parking to the south. There's approximately 800 plus parking stalls there.
All right, thank you very much. Is the applicant ready to proceed?
Yes, Mr. Examiner.
Okay.
Hi,
I'm
good afternoon. Your name and address, please?
Paul Knutson, 5401 Ridgeline Drive, Suite 160, Kennewick.
All right, sir, I'll have you raise your right hand for me, please. And do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give tonight will be the truth?
I do, yes.
All right, thank you very much. And Mr. Knutson, you are here as an agent authorized to appear and speak on behalf of the applicant and property owner, is that correct?
Correct.
And have you had a chance to review the staff report?
Yes.
Do you have any disagreement with any of the representations within the staff report?
No. We've consulted with my clients and they've accepted the conditions as staff has outlined.
Oh, okay. And the conditions as well. Yeah. First question is basically the factual representations within the staff report. And then my second question would be the proposed conditions of approval. So the client doesn't have any objection to the staff report or the conditions. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, yes. The staff report summarizes the objective of the development very well, and the conditions also our clients agree with. I could elaborate a little if now's
Whatever,
okay time.
whatever you want to tell me. Yep. Now I turn it over to you.
I would add, I noticed your question about the parking. This lot originally was just platted last year. There's an adjacent restaurant type use going in next door called Summers Hub. It's a food truck center where they park approximately 28 food trucks and have a central area. Pasco owned all this land. Last summer they split it with the intent purpose of bringing in new restaurant, type uses at this location. So we're working on both projects. Summers Hub is well under construction, and then this is the next project on the docket to line up. This one does trigger the special use permit due to the type of use that it is, being a quasi nightclub and the other portion being a dance hall. On that map, both of these buildings are mirror images of one another. It's the one building is just the rental building for private parties and events that they can rent out. The other building is for the restaurant during the daytime hours, with turning into a nightclub after hours, and of course, as shown with all the outdoor amenities, which is also correctly outlined in the staff report. So yeah, our clients are excited to bring this project to Pasco and have been assured. I don't believe there's a recorded easement yet for cross parking, but have been assured by the city that one should be obtained with no problems. They wanted this project to come in. They just know they can't conflict with the Dust Devil games, because that's what those 800 parking stalls are for.
Makes sense. All right. Anything else, Mr. Knutson?
No, thank you, Mr. Examiner.
All right. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Turn it over to the public. Is there any member of the public there that came to testify on this matter? All right. Mr. Barragon, anything further from staff?
No, Mr. Examiner.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Knutson. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close the public record portion of the hearing then, and I will have my written decision made within the next 10 working days. Turn to the last item on today's agenda. This is the zone designation request. This is where I make a recommendation to City Council. This is a request or a recommendation of an R1 zoning be made to City Council for this particular parcel of land. What I'm going to do is this is ZD 2024-003, just for the record. I'm going to admit into the record the staff report, application materials, all the maps and drawings and photographs. I'll admit all those items. Indeed, I'll admit the entire planning staff file into the record at this time by this reference. And once again, turn this over to staff for their presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Examiner. Once again, for the record, my name is Ivan Barragon, Planner 2 with the City of Pasco. I am presenting on zoning determination application ZD 2024-003, submitted by Big Sky Developers for the zoning determination recommendation to City Council, also as part of the annexation record ANX 2024-003. I'd like to note that in the original packet, specifically on page 15, the notarized zoning application page was initially left blank. This has since been corrected, and the packet now includes the fully completed and signed notarized page. The proposal is located at the northwest corner of Convention Drive and Burns Road, situated south of Cultural Road and east of Road 68. It specifically includes the property at 6821 Burns Road, parcel number 115-160-102, and approximately the eastern 83 feet of 6820 Cultural Road, parcel number 115-160-013 in Pasco, Washington. The property is currently zoned RS40 under Franklin County jurisdiction and is designated as low-density residential in the City of Pasco's comprehensive plan. The applicant is requesting a zoning designation of R1, aligning with the low-density residential district within city limits. Next slide, please. The proposed zoning determination area is surrounded by properties that have gradually transitioned into city limits over time. To the north, parcels were annexed in 2022 and zoned R1 in early 2023. East of the site, properties were annexed in 2022 and zoned for a mix of R1, R3, RS20, and C1 uses, with the C1 portion later rezoned to R3 and now under multifamily development. To the west, adjacent parcels remained unannexed but lie within the urban growth area and are designated low-density residential in the comprehensive plan. South and southeast of the site, annexations occurred in 1981 and 2002 respectively, with nearby areas now developed as residential neighborhoods. Additionally, we had a recently approved preliminary plat southwest of the site across Burns Road in the R4 high-density residential area shown on the zoning map. Next slide, please. The subject area is approximately 6.23 acres in size. Next slide, please. The property owners have initiated the annexation process into the City of Pasco, which includes a zoning determination. The intent of this request is to facilitate the expansion of residential opportunities within the city's urban growth area. Next slide, please. Resolution to accept the notice of intent to commence annexation proceedings, providing a determination on the boundary to be annexed, whether simultaneous zoning and assumption of bonded indebtedness will be required, was passed on December 2nd, 2024. Pursuant to PMC 25.220.020, letter B, public notice of this hearing was published in the Tri-City Herald on May 26th and June 1st, 2025, in compliance with this requirement. Pursuant to PMC 25.220.020, letter C, public notice was mailed on May 27, 2025 to property owners in the annexation area and to Franklin County. Pursuant to PMC 25.220.020, letter D, the hearing examiner zoning determination recommendation must be forwarded to the City Council at or near the time Council holds a public hearing on the 60% annexation petition. Following the adoption of an ordinance annexing the property into the city, the Council is required to adopt a separate ordinance to establish zoning for the annexed area. The proposed R1 zoning designation, as before mentioned, is consistent with the comprehensive plan and aligns with the designated land use for the subject area. The City of Pasco is serving as the lead agency for this project with respect to an environmental review. The city has determined that this proposal to be exempt under Washington Administrative Code WAC 197.11.800, number 6, letter C, numbers 1, 2, and 3. Next slide, please. All that said, Staff recommends designating R1 low-density residential zoning to the Wright and Big Sky Developers annexation area, which comprises approximately 6.23 acres, including parcel 115.160.102 and approximately the eastern 83 feet of parcel 115.160.013, as recorded in the records of Franklin County, Washington. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Is the applicant ready to proceed?
Yes, Mr. Examiner.
All right, good evening. I'll have you state your name and address for me, please.
Good evening. My name is Peter Harpster. Address is, wait, just get my 5804 Road 90, Suite C, here in Pasco.
All right, Mr. Harpster, once again, I'll have you raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that any testimony you give tonight will be the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you. And you are the agent of the applicant and property owner and authorized to speak tonight, is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right, sir, what would you like to tell me about this zoning designation request?
Yeah, not much. We obviously agree with staff's recommendation of R1 zoning and note that it is consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan land use designation of low density residential. One thing I will bring to your attention is it's sort of an odd area. The intent of adding that northern piece that's 83 feet wide is to account for future right-of-way when a future project extends Convention Drive to the north, which we anticipate will occur in early 2027. So that was the reason for that entire parcel to the south and just a portion of the northern parcel.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, anything else you'd like to add for
Nope, that's it.
me? All right, Mr. Harpster, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Is there any member of the public there? I don't see anybody. I guess I do see a gentleman in the back, but is there anybody else that wishes to offer any public testimony on this matter? Okay, not seeing any. Is there anything further from staff?
No, Mr. Examiner.
All right, then, Mr. Harpster, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the record on this matter. I'll have my recommendation made, again, within the next 10 working days. These were the only 3 items that were on tonight's agenda. Thank you all for coming. I'm now going to adjourn this June 11, 2025 meeting of the City of Pasco Hearing Examiner. Everybody have a very nice night. This meeting is adjourned.